He ain't gonna do it. All these people that hooraying for him, watch and see what's gonna happen to all y'all heroes and sheroes that want to think that he's a businessman, he's this, he's that. He's a nut. I'm saying it. You know, Wallace.
First class nut.
Yeah, the Wallace raw dog, like they used to call me, raw dog is saying this. You know, he's not gonna make it happen like everybody think he's gonna make it happen. I don't know if you caught the show online at the beginning. You know how he's talking about deporting non-citizen. You need to start with his wife. You know,
Yeah.
where she come from.
Yes.
You know, put her back in her place. And if he get on a public speaking and say, I'm gonna start off with my wife deporting her first, now I believe what he said talking about deporting people. But he will not go messing with those Mexicans that's doing well, got gas stations, convenience stores, major stores and stuff like this here. He's not going to do it. I'm sorry to say it, but I said it, and I believe what I feel going to happen.
I'm sorry about that, Brother Wallace. I was getting the stream up, but we had some difficulty getting our social media stream up. Shout out to Brother Paul from Lake Charles.
Yeah.
Thank AOC staff and management for giving this valuable time to talk about some things. It's a year-end show, Brother Wallace.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm going to jump into it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know-
Well, Brother Paul, before we get too far gone, did you get your package?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Well, you better start tracking.
Well, I hope Amazon is not on strike. You know, they're talking about going on strike.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, you better
Yeah,
go.
but who's gonna pay for that great thing? He gonna bankrupt you. He gonna make add to the deficit when he left out 4 years ago.
Well, the new so-called designated head of the border czar, whatever his name is, the third-rate cop. You know, that's all they're hiring, third-rate cop like Clay Higgins, who he was a New York City PD officer. He's the new border czar. He said he need up to 100,000 beds, and he need to get funding from Congress to pay for those 100,000 beds for people who they're going to deport when they put them in a designated place. Now, so you saw how much asinine things they just voted not to fund the government, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad Hakeem Jeffries, the minority House leader, the brother from New York, he said he not bailing out MAGA Mike no more. MAGA Mike from Louisiana, you know, from up in y'all area, well, not y'all area, the northern part of the state. He not bailing him out. Now, the thing, Paul, is this. Here's how asinine these people are. Trump picked one of the most illiterate, evil, egotistical, racist people to run things in the government. Mm-hmm. Now, wouldn't the electorate, the people who elected them, Paul, understand when you put idiots running the ship or idiots running the spaceship or the boat or whatever, you basically gonna have a crash, and you gonna have a big ass crash that you never had before. Now, Elon Musk might be a person who made some great investments. He hired the best people with his money, right? Mm-hmm. He's not that intelligent. He all the time people were praising him. He was a closet racist because he's come from apartheid South Africa. Okay. His father exploited the land in South Africa, made millions of dollars with those, maybe up more with the mines that he exploited the land in South Africa. And then his son gets some of that wealth, comes to America, started investing in a rising tech sector, you know, whether it was PayPal or some of these money situations. And so he made a lot of money and started hiring the best people who were inventors and stuff like that. So people think he's actually that smart, and he's not, but he's more of a smart racist. And when you're a smart racist, you're more of a smart idiot because you're not thinking outside the box.
Right. Well, that's the same thing I say about Trump. You know, Trump is hiring people that's going to be loyal to him And if they be loyal to him, guess what? Like I've been saying for sure, you know, Trump wants to be a dictator
Right.
of the United States. And this is why January the 6th, you understand me, went after Pence, because Pence didn't want to do what he wanted him to do. And what he wanted him to do was lie about an election that wasn't going on. That's just like if he would have lost this election, he would have said that the Democrats stole the election. Well, I say Elon Musk and him bought that election.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And they fixed it in the right manner where they what it was. Elon Musk was given $1 million, you understand me, to get votes out or buy votes and things like this here. You know, and people that went along with that, shame on you. Y'all getting ready to see something in 2025 that never was expected to happen in the United States of America. You know,
Right.
It's not going to be America no more. Ain't that right, Paul?
That's right. That's right. You get to the point of no return.
Yeah. So,
Well, one of the headlines I'm getting is the government the government shutdown. What travelers need to know. People who are traveling. The failure to act by Congress could cause airport lines and other disruption across the travel industry during busy holidays travel. Now, I'm just giving you a short synopsis of some of the first things that people can start noticing. You know, and. What they're doing in the Congress is not far from what Jeff Landry is doing here in the state of Louisiana with his so-called tax overhaul thing. Now, granted that John Bell Edwards, I think, I'm not bragging on him, but I think Brother Paul, correct me if I'm right, he had a surplus, right?
yeah.
Okay. So Jeff Landry, some of the experts that Jeff Landry designated in one of the news articles said that because of his new tax plan proposal or his tax plan that he enacted, that's going to save Louisiana from having a deficit. Well, hell, if you already have a surplus, what are you talking about? In the long run, that's going to hurt poor people in Louisiana. We're going to pay higher prices. And you won't see a lot of people in the stores like you see them this year, come after January or whenever that tax plan is enacted. These are the things that people, the average person should set up and take notice. If he appoint his people who run all companies as the people who are going to decide what to cut in the state of Louisiana, we should all be worried.
Yeah.
You know, we should all be worried. It's easy to say, I'm going to sit down and eat the popcorn and watch, but when it start affecting you, you won't be able to buy that popcorn. You know?
Well, you know,
It's getting out of hand already. You got 3 forms to go.
yeah.
Legislative, executive, and judicial. Now he's across the line already.
Right.
Now him and the legislature and the plan to them, they messing with the judicial.
Yeah. Well,
And guess what? When he does this now, if a judge do lenient, what the hell that mean, man? Lenient.
well,
What do that mean in the law? I don't know what he's talking about.
yeah, well, a lot of us don't know what he's talking about, but from what I'm understanding, he's getting ready to scrap food stamp, you know, and food stamp help not just black people, help all people. Because I see white people with food stamp Louisiana Purchase card myself. They hide it like they ashamed to use it, but they're using it also. You know, everybody that is qualified for food stamp been going and get it, you know.
Well, guess what? It's going to impact a lot of areas, brother. The grocery chains.
Yeah.
The farmers, because that's something you know under the farm bill. That's less than 1% you can't even register today.
Right.
The food stamp taken up.
Well, you know, it's gonna food stamp. If they scrap the food stamp program, it's gonna affect a lot of things that's going on.
You better believe
You know, especially the farmers.
Right.
You know, people that get, they say everything you got nowadays come by a truck. It's going to affect the trucking industry, the car industry, a lot of things that is going to affect that we can't even call them.
And these small corporate stores that depend heavily on people who have to go to to these stores who have food stamps, who does their monthly shopping with food stamps, it gonna hurt those stores also. And again, it's a domino effect. Yeah. One thing will turn to another one. Again, and like I said, we started off by the migrant.
Right. Yeah.
Brother Paul, if they were to go and raid all of these sugar mills that got along Highway 90 from Morbraham, Louisiana, all the way down to Patouville, all the way down to Sorrel. They was to raid those and round up all the migrant Hispanics and even the ones who are legally here and say, because that's what they say they could do, the ones that are legally here too. And you can't even have birthright. Birthright, you can't have children. If you have children, your children going backward even though they were born here. So if you round all these people up, who in the hell you think gonna run that industry, and who in the hell you think gonna get so mad? The co-ops that own that, the Patou brothers out there in Patouville, who are filthy rich, that corporation, whatever the name, that under the Patou brand, you think they're gonna sit still and let Donald Trump and the cohorts like Stephen Miller mess up their goose eggs? They're already getting subsidy from the government to grow all that sugar cane, even though I say it's unhealthy to have all that sugar being harvested and given to us on a daily basis, but it's an industry, right? So you think that these people who give heavily to the Republican Party gonna sit still and let them ruin their goose egg?
Oh no way.
Yeah, going back with the sugar cane, what about the river parish?
Yeah.
With the toxic chemicals. Man, they got sugar cane all around the dang on.
The plants. The plants.
They need to check that sugar.
That sugar. Well, we know that sugar in that Coca-Cola stuff is driving people crazy anyway.
Look at the air quality.
Mm-hmm.
The air quality, man, you can't show me where when it's coming from because I can't tell you where it's going. But when things get in the air, it goes all over. And all those smokestacks and stacks that got this chemical burning off from the bottom, coming up to the air, that's global warming.
Mm-hmm.
What part of that we
doing? The waterway travel all through your city. We right there left here.
Yeah.
Right here, Lake Charles and Bayou, the stream. This, in fact, man, this joker finna destroy this state. You ain't gonna better get no fish. Right now, the fish full of mercury.
Yeah.
But they just write it off. What else chemicals they got in the fish? They just all
well, and Paul, they're wondering why people are what you say, quote unquote, that term they use, wilding out, meaning acting crazy for no reason. You got more and more people just grabbing the gun and angry, shooting up, they killing their family. I saw one incident where a man just up and killed his whole family around Thanksgiving. Then right last week they had one too. People are wilding out. People are suffering from severe mental situation. A lot of the stuff we consume is causing all that. The air, like you said, the air we breathe, the food we eat, all of that stuff it has a residual effect.
Right.
When you're going to see the crop duster dusting the crops right next to the bayou where the sugarcane is growing, you got to say, well, where does that stuff, when it rains or when the moisture hits it, where does it go?
Mm-hmm.
Because they tell you, don't use Roundup on your plants, use Roundup on stuff you want to kill.
Yeah.
So if you're using some other form of pesticide, even though it's not Roundup, where you think it's going? It's got to go somewhere. It's going into the food, into the ground, and you're absorbing it in the air and so forth.
Yeah, well, we don't have to use Roundup to kill. If it's gonna kill the grass, or the weeds or whatever, it's killing us too.
Of course.
Eventually.
Over there from New Iberia, I know you probably remember a while back. y'all had to move y'all water source 14 to 15 miles north.
Yeah.
Due to saltwater intrusion.
Yeah.
And what they call it, arsenic coming from the farmers when you getting in the water tank.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Right. We got a lot. Paul, another big thing too, you've seen the shift with the gloom and doom, my message I get on wireless too, the purveyor of bad news. You seen the media, even cause they got a online, actually an online platform called the Young Turks.
Mhm.
A lot of progressive, liberal type people on it, always fighting for, people, police
Right.
brutality and stuff. Now you see the people who are a part of that network changing their attitude and kissing the ring of Trump. And so you're starting to see more and more people understanding that the mainstream media and even the so-called liberal and progressive are kissing the ring of Trump, meaning they're trying to normalize that. Like Morning Joe, they criticizing that.
Mhm.
He kissing the ring of Trump, and him and his wife, his old lady Mika. The thing is this. When you start to normalize some idiotic situation and some racism stuff, it becomes normal in the minds of these people. And I'm glad they got some brothers who say they're quitting these shows, they're separating. I don't feel sorry for CNN. I don't feel sorry for MSNBC, because you let that happen because y'all normalized by every time y'all reported on Trump being normal. Because Donald Trump today went to the Indian burial ground and he saw Pocahontas, which is the senator from Maine, whatever her name is,
Yeah.
and they normalize this stuff. Don't call it out. So that's why people are getting upset, because the mainstream media has normalized everything Donald Trump do, and they're gonna accept everything he does.
Yes, they will.
And so, like I say, independent media, Paul, is the way to go. Independent media.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right. And then they're going to try to draw it back because, they get a lot of grants to support
Right.
that
Right.
media. They don't get enough support from the public.
Right.
Mhm.
Man, we in a bad situation. We got I heard this guy got a short man complex, so he'll nothing Napoleon.
Mhm.
But guess what? If we know what interesting, the 80s, they killed another Napoleon years ago. And due to their effort, led to a chain reaction for us to make the Louisiana Purchase. How quick we forget.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they done it. And man, this dude is trying to be over the top worse than Doug Abbott or the other, whatever his name up in Florida.
Yeah.
He's trying to top them, man.
Yeah.
He also talking about what happened in Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
where the legislature set a bill, created a whole new judicial system, whole new police agency.
Technically, that's what they're doing in New Orleans. He's trying to do in New Orleans too.
Yeah.
They- through,
And at the same time, they want the city of Jackson to pay for it,
Yeah.
not the state.
yeah. Well, that's what he's trying to do in New Orleans through through Liz Morrell, who the Attorney General.
He can't take credit for the state. You know what's happening in New Orleans? They got them jump boards. That's who been clearing up the crime. The crime is down in New Orleans due to that effort from the New Orleans police department.
Right.
With the jump board. That's about the petty crime, people robbing people, up in the Frenchport area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, they got to do.
yeah,
They
well,
got to take credit for that.
well, what they're getting ready to do to New Orleans now, because the Super Bowl is going to be held
Yeah.
in New Orleans. They're trying to take the crime from around the area that the Super Bowl or the people going to be coming to the Super Bowl on. They're trying to take that crime area away from there so they could get the people to come in and recognize what's going on. You know?
Yeah, and the thing is, that would have been a wonderful time for a new civil rights movement to start. If you have a major event like the Super Bowl, I think the Black Caucus, the leadership, the NAACP, and Paul, and forgive me if I be critical of all these groups, because it's almost like we in a game to play a game to win, and we start saying, "Oh well, the other side is too powerful, we can't fight them." And that's my thing with the Black Caucus on the national and the state level, especially in Louisiana. and with civil rights groups like the NAACP, because we got good people in those groups that want to fight, but we got poor leadership, poor weak ass leadership under the influence of people like Clay Higgins and so forth. We don't know how much money that certain NAACP leaders are getting from the likes of Clay Higgins. We don't know. We can speculate, because when you see groups who don't speak out on things, it's something wrong, Paul. You got to say, well, yeah, I don't want you to say, Paul, I don't want you to say I'm just doing it for the sake of being a critical person. But when you start seeing some factual things happening where groups don't stand up, the only group you might have fighting and filing lawsuits and fighting in court the way they know is the ACLU of Louisiana, the sister Alana Women. But these other groups are either hiding in the shadows on the corner or not doing anything. So they need to get out the damn way and let real people fight. And whenever somebody speak out against somebody, don't stand up and defend that. And that's why I'm upset,
Well, look, these organizations, they don't speak out against the ill that's happening in their district or in their community because of a 501c3. I done had too many of them. I try to tell them, hey, look, this is what the white evangelical is doing. They don't want to hear it because they got the 501c3. The white evangelists have it too.
They had more influence over the election of Trump and Jeff Landry than any other groups that could bring forward.
But look, the church don't do it. They form
other groups,
communities
within them,
other organizations
within that.
You understand me? Within that
mindset
to do what they got to do, and that don't reflect back on them, but that a little group that they forming. You think we're gonna do it? Because guess what, Brother J? We got white history and we got black history, and black history don't really know their history like the white know their own.
And a lot of our local elected officials are either too scared or coward to speak out against that same system they fighting, or they're either bought and paid for. And not near one of them to come on this show or any one of the progressive shows to talk.
Well, let's go to the caller, see what the caller talking about. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the Community Matters Show.
Guys, y'all just woke me up.
Good morning.
And listening to y'all at the same time. That great show like every Friday. Being that y'all talking about religion and mega churches and things of that sort. It just so happened, Christmas is here, about next week.
Yeah.
There's a program called Truth or Consequence. There are three people that used to sit on a panel to see who's the real this, who's the real that. When the real Santa Claus, please stand up. Santa Claus all over. The reason why I'm saying that,
I got a Santa Claus hat on. That's it.
Is God. Okay? How many babies are born in the manger? If it's one God, supposed to be. But the real God, please stand up, because they got everybody's fighting in the churches to say their God is better than everybody else God. How many Bibles they got? With the real Bible really stand up or put it forward? It's too many religions. We talk about politics, but they got politics in religion.
Yeah, of course.
So everybody got their view on things. One more thing. When the ball was dropped in New York, the Democrats gonna be out. But John Bell ever was in office, he couldn't do nothing right. Jeff Landry can't do nothing wrong. Same thing with Biden. He can't do nothing right. The Democrats and this and that. Trump can't do nothing wrong. So I want to see what these shows gonna be about, like Fox News. Right. The guys come on Wednesdays. They had a dummy I call him a dummy. I don't care how you look at it. Wednesday.
It's got to be Albert Gilroy.
Yeah.
Oh, how you know? Tell me when you see it.
Well, I was hopping channel, and I happened to hop on that channel one day this week, and he was on there, and you know, he's not a favorite person. Ever since he took that boot off on national TV and said he had that boot for President Obama's butt, to put in President Obama's butt, he never was a person of interest to me.
What you call him more like what you call a black grifter? You know, a grifter is a person who's just trying to get some money out of something.
Yeah.
And basically, that's what he's doing. You know, he's just grifting money. If I was the Republicans, I'd say, well, Albert Lee, you ain't really doing nothing, man. Get the hell on, man. You're taking all the money.
Yeah. Okay, go on, caller.
But he that's Jim first better buddy, man. He can't. Albert Gilroy can't do nothing wrong in Jim eyes.
Well,
he is the perfect person for the job.
Well,
they call them people like that, Stephen.
Well, I look at that, you know, the man trying to prove that he's not a racist or anything.
Not even that. He just he just, hey, I'm boss.
Yeah,
you my boss. You look good, boss.
Yeah.
You know, that type of stuff.
Yeah, and he's trying to prove to the people, you understand me, he got Albert Gilroy on, the worst person to try to prove anything with, you know, but, you know, that's the way it's going.
Yeah.
And that's me. That's
the reality.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. And all those that understand, fine. Those that
they
don't
know
understand,
that.
Hey.
They know that. He would, if he was a white person, they would call him a traitor. Yeah, man, you're a traitor, man. You traitor. You even turn your back on your own people. I can't trust you, Albert Lee.
Yeah.
Except unless you after some money. You know.
Well, that's what he's all about. And he's a liar.
He don't believe half the things he says.
Because he's a lawyer. Yeah. You know, he don't know how to go and defend the people that look like him because he don't want to look bad.
He want to get rid of the migrants.
Yeah. You don't want to look bad in the front of the white eyesight.
Right.
You know, and that's not the way it's supposed to go.
He is the movie Django. As Stephen. Except Stephen had a little bit more the definition to him, but Albert Lee, you know, he go fade into the sunset.
Yeah.
But I like to ask the caller one more thing here. Okay. Well, how you feel about the so-called government shutdown, and if there will be a real shutdown, and how you think anybody in Louisiana could be affected by that?
Most probably, it's a catch-22 with those people because they've been fighting. I've been listening to C-SPAN,
right?
And they got the Democrats saying this, the Republicans saying that, and I want everybody asking right now, who's the president? Who they elected? The new elected?
Elon Musk.
That's what I know you go on all those websites to see, because he called the Speaker of the House a dummy from Shreveport.
He is. He's right about that.
And he changed they had the votes to play the first plan A, and then he called it was changed. You know, and just to show you, and one more thing about Musk, he got a lot of contracts, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
With the government.
Biggest welfare getter.
Yeah. So he stands to win bigger money.
Yeah.
You know, for his spaceship.
Right.
Well, you know he's going down to the Ford Motor Company because Ford Motor Company might outdo him and his Tesla.
He's trying to get in my phone with T-Mobile, where they're going to attach T-Mobile contracts to SpaceX, and their service is not that good for internet.
Let me tell you something else. You know you're over in the space program.
Yeah.
He thought it right there in South Texas.
Right.
He want to test his rockets. Guess what? He want to take the byproduct, the chemicals, and throw it in the base.
Yeah.
Yeah. This dude, man, dangerous, man.
Yeah, he is, in a sense.
Two more things. Tuesday, at the city council meeting, some guys put up a flag in one of them Cajun area, United States flag, American flag.
Right.
And they took them down. And man, they was hot. So they honored a veteran. But that was a sign state for me.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Yeah.
That we done got our country back.
Sooner or later, they could put the Klan flag up. They could put the, they could put everything else up. Sooner or later, that's gonna happen, man. We just gotta accept it.
No, we don't have to.
No,
accept
I'm just saying. Sooner or later, it's gonna happen. We know it's coming.
Yeah. but we don't have to accept it, and we only accept it if we allow ourselves to accept that kind of crap.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Carl. You got another thing.
Booley promised the North Side all kind of. She did like a truck. She promised the North Side been neglected and wasn't doing this. She's still neglecting the North Side and going to do Bertrand for the horse farm park. I call it the horse farm.
Yeah.
And that don't need to be like emergency, but she gonna do it to satisfy a base,
Yeah.
Paul, I forgot to tell you hello, and I'm gonna tell y'all guys, Merry Christmas, and I don't know, have a safe one.
Yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
Brother T, I don't want to talk about it.
Yes,
But you gotta get Zydeco, man.
I got the what?
But you gotta get Zydeco.
Oh, well, no, I don't. I followed you guys. I covered you guys back in the day. We were just talking about Corey. And the thing is, when I say we can't just always in the state of Louisiana just pursue entertainment. Entertainment should be a second thought. All we do is pursue music and dance and drink, and then when we wake up, just like the Super Bowl back in 2009, when the Saints won, right? We thought Louisiana was the best thing. When January hit the next year, Louisiana was still at the bottom of the barrel. So I'm just saying we eat too much, we drink too much, we party too much. That's why we last and everything else. I'm thinking that's what it is. If you drink and smoke and play casinos and play lottery, you gonna have cancer, everything else, and you go die, have the highest mortality rate as far as the time a person dies. So that's my whole thing. It wasn't about music. I love entertainment.
Somebody trying to call in. Let me see who's that.
Thank you, caller.
Good morning, caller. Welcome to the Community Matters Show. Oh, they done hung up. Call back, caller, please. We got a few minutes left.
Oh yeah, when I said that last week about Zydeco, I said we can't just pursue Zydeco, and I was using that for example as the main thing. A lot of you go on social media, all we want to do is dress up party and stuff, and we don't even realize what's going on.
Brother Wiley, we talked about that issue.
Yeah.
Not so much just Mardi Gras, with all these festivals and drinking and partying, but that's how they deal.
And they bank on us. They sell us that. That's right. They sell us having the Super Bowl gonna make everybody in Louisiana free or make us rich. No, it's not gonna make the owner of the Saints rich. She has one of the highest grossing franchise in the NFL, but the state of Louisiana is one of the poorest states because she get all them tax incentives.
All right, now. All the gas go through. We've been having all the gas over 100 years. We ought to have the best streets, the best school system, the best universities.
Well, they told us casinos we could do that.
In none of our cities.
Well, look, the caller was talking about the mayor, Monique Blanco. She's gone and attack a street that was a former name of a mayor, and she's not attacking it. She wants to beautify it, beautification of it, and things like this here. But we have Moss Street, ragged as I don't know what. A lot of people traveled on it. We got Willow Street. We got Willow Street from University to Ambassador Caffrey. It's ragged as I don't know what. We got Evice Landry Road that well traveled with school buses and everything. Ragged as I don't know what. We got Service Road. Now Cameco is doing well on their service road, but we are not doing nothing for our service road. This is why I could talk about our council people, you know, black and white, you know, that's not really doing nothing for the district and the people that they were supposed to be elected by to make things right for them. Simcoe Street is awful from really West Simcoe, East Simcoe, all bad street, you know.
God dang, right?
Well, I'm calling the truth. And
You know, anything, you know, it's wild, man.
you call West Simcoe from University all the way to Pinhook. It's awful. Okay, we got a call coming in. Let's see what this call is about. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the Community Matters Show.
I'm sorry, I called in earlier, sir. How you doing today? This is Ron Swafford from Universal Collective Network.
Yeah, brother Salida.
Okay.
Salida's, Sister Salida of People. Yes,
Good
yes.
morning.
Welcome, my brother. Welcome.
Welcome to the show.
How you gentlemen doing? I'm sitting here watching your wonderful program. I just wanted to, I know y'all talking about your city council. I want y'all to be encouraged. You know, we was going through in Alexandria.
Right.
And, you know, we just had a recent election and we got rid of all as many of the problematic ones that we could in this election.
Mm-hmm.
So we flipped the seats. We got rid of Reddix Washington.
Wow.
We got rid of Rubin.
Standing ovation.
Brother Ed Larberdane's brother, the state 26th representative. Ed Larberdane got a little brother named Mountain House. And he was in the seat before. We got Brother Jules Green back on the council.
Great.
Council at large. And so just be encouraged. I know y'all got problems, but you know, the fight we fighting here.
Well, Brother Tavares, that give me hope that we could reverse some of these Stephen types we got around here, right?
Let me tell you. So all the stuff that they have participated in, they try to get us underneath the gun.
Right.
The first thing they're going to do, we had a little problem with redistricting. They wanted to redistrict out of a cycle, and they did it for a specific reason, for a specific councilman, which is completely illegal. But the courts upheld it, and it messed up this election. Whenever you redistrict, you got to change precincts and all that other stuff.
Right.
Well, a lot of people didn't know where to go vote this election because they just moved 600 people out of a district for their own personal gain, which is completely illegal, but it's still Alexandria. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got enough people on the city council now it's about to be some head up in Alexandria. They're about to get some act right.
Yeah,
So all you got to do is, I don't know about y'all charter, but you get your 5 smooth stones. If you got a 7-man council, you get your 5 strong councilmen. And those 5 strong councilmen will be able to override the mayor's veto if the charter is set up that way.
Well, caller, not to cut you off, but we have a city council here. We got 5 parish councils. And we got 5 city councils.
Consolidated.
It used to be 5-4. It used to be 5-4. And they had this councilman that come on and start talking about that's the best thing would have happened for Lafayette if we do 5-5. Guess what? 1-5 is more powerful than the other 5. You know, and
they don't make sense to split it down the middle. Somebody's got to see who's going to win the tiebreaker. Who gets if it's a tie on the votes, who breaks the tie?
They have the power to not even have a tie. You know, whatever they say, that's the way it's gonna go. You know. The mayor president can't even break the tie, but this councilman gets on his radio program, gets everywhere else and talk about this is the best thing that ever happened for Lafayette. That's the worst thing that ever happened for Lafayette, and I'll tell him that to his face, and I'll tell everybody else just like I'm on this program. That was the worst thing ever happened for Lafayette, Louisiana.
Wow.
You know, I can tell you this. He ain't lying. It's the best thing that happened for him.
hey, I gotta give you a hand on that one because that's the way it is. That was the best thing happened for him.
Be able to tell you no, tell you we can't put no more money in your community, to tell you all these dilapidated houses they can't be refurbished, to tell you you don't deserve affordable housing, you don't deserve a livable. Yeah, it's great for them.
Yeah.
They the ones they winning every time.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You got that right. You got it so right because that's just the way it went down. You know, they had told him he could rerun for office without getting out of office the first time. You understand me? And the night that they was,
He the man.
yeah. And when they got ready to vote for this, you know, they stood up and say they not gonna take term limit off the table, and that's where we got stuck at.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm still glad. I'm still glad, brother.
They set the odds in their favor.
Brother,
remember that they're gonna set the odds in their favor.
Yeah.
They're gonna set the odds in their favor and tell you it's good for you.
Yes, sir.
Well, brother, I'm so glad you called in, and we appreciate you calling in and give your people our greatest regards, and hopefully we could all hook up and do a big round table because we all going through some things.
I miss y'all.
Paul from Lake Charles, Sister Salida from Alexandria, you, my brother, all of us, Brother Wallace, we could get together and do a round table over here at AOC.
Yes, sir.
Well, we should look at the crossroads because I heard about all that. Y'all ain't controlling the vote a long time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You know,
I heard about it.
and that's what's good. That's why this is called the Community Matter Show. Same thing happening in your community, happening in our community, and I guarantee it's happening in somebody else's community too.
Thank you, Brother Tobias.
All over Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
53 to the hour.
Well, we bringing it down to the end of the hour. Sure appreciate your call. You know, don't let it be your last time calling. And if you say you're watching it on the internet, keep watching.
Yes, sir.
Keep watching.
All right,
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
You know, Brother Jay, you see, this is why we call it the Community Matter Show, because it's happening all over. Man, I talk to people, you know, just like I call out Florida, Ohio, West Virginia. I talk to these people, and they telling me what's really happening. And this is how I came up with the with the title,
Right.
Community Matters. You know, Brother Jay, we wind it down, my brother. You know,
Yeah.
Brother Paul,
Brother.
we get ready to wind it down.
You're back now, yeah.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah, next year.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully the drones won't get us. We got to worry about the drones next.
yeah. You know, but Brother Jay, look, always a pleasure, man,
Yes.
to have you on the show.
Mhm.
You know, I had a couple other guests to come on, but they had to back out because they had some emergency things at the last minute. You know, long as we don't put their graphic up,
Yeah.
they're not going to be a ghost. But if
Yeah.
we put their graphic up, you know, they're a ghost rider there.
Yeah,
you know?
I know that, brother.
So,
All right.
okay, so I want to thank you guys for allowing us to come into your eyes, to your heart, to your ears, and to your home until
Next year.
Next year. You know, y'all have a great holiday. Remember, we don't have to have a holiday with guns.
Put the guns down.
Put the guns down, please. Thank you, guys.
And all your money.